Hello, welcome back to Phoenix Wright. Please tell me justice for all. Good morning. Yeah, good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of the audience. I'm working up to it. Don't get nervous, please. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina. How fabulous, my sweetie pie princess. Came to watch my performance today? Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Mo said that? So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly a bit? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess does. Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think? Top of the morning. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Whoa. Top of the morning to you, top of the morning. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm. But then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my, thanks. So how are you today? Well, I got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin his leg is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can with. What are you going to do then? I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today, we're aligned. It's the only way to get past Acro and to the truth. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees well today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Wright. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karp, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous statement. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered new evidence, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Wright fly off from the scene of the crime. Order. Order. I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew out. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need still arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my witness. Poor gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work, or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Name and occupation. Ken Ding, but everyone calls me that. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Garrett Day Service. Where were you at the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Can you tell us what you witnessed? It was just after 10 o'clock p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thumping noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactic. I only saw him from the top, but that's what it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown. If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that day.
Hold it!
Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, and I quote yesterday's proceedings, "There's no way that actually happened." Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination.
Hold it!
Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix. Testify to the truth, and only the truth, just as if we were there with you. I believe it was a human. I just strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts. Oh, there is a contradiction? There is a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given.
Objection!
If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support the claim of a contradiction? I don't think I do. It's the hat.
Take that!
You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found at the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has two silk hats? No, this is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactic, which means Acro. That you've been fibbing on the stand. Order.
Objection!
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay? Well, I opened my big mouth, and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in his court today? Gosh. He's dreaming. Jeez. Did he do it? Acro's the real culprit. Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, they accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Bain. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your tricks in the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed back the evidence. trying to vow the crowd of smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. He's staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Digley, do you have any response to the defense's accusation? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you need? Everyone, take a good look. I can't understand it myself. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, heartless, cruel man. Phoenix is a poopy head. No. Leave that, Mr. Dean. You're trying to drum up support in the peanut gallery. That's how you do it. I think that's enough for this little game. I got a doctor to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Did Acro have an accomplice? Of course he did. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for him to consider possible accomplices. You don't say. Who accomplice? I think I can say not good. Not good. This isn't going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. But what? You must not have heard that sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes. Mr. Wright, it seems as if you won't be stopped, but we'll be making other accusations. If Acro did not have the accomplice, things are not looking good. I understand, Your Honor. Very well. Let's continue. Who, perchance, would happen to be Acro's accomplice?
Take that!
I can just pick anything. This is weird. He's not a person. So this doesn't matter at all.
Take that!
Gotta get out of it though, so. Arg. Of course it is. Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Order! Order! What are you getting at? Way to keep them on their toes, man. Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it? Can you really do it? I know what I can't do. I can't stop him. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this witness is the killer, and his eyewitness account is all lies. Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where it was, Mr. Dean.
Take that!
It's obvious we're here the entire time. It's Acro's room. Pretty simple. Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. There can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts? What say you, Mr. Dean? It's an interesting theory. That's it? considering that what you propose is impossible. Yes, that's it. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. As the witnesses stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there's no way he can go to the scene or be the killer. You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did you do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here. She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. He did it while he was in this room. No doubt about it. I'm going to let you know as to how Mr. Dingley committed this crime. Evidence? I'm going to present some evidence. So what did Mr. Dingley use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Larry? What's that? A picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust? It's quite a large bust, and because it is life-size, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death, especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. See, this is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity, Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Order. So you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to do.
Objection!
How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible.
Objection!
Well, Acro is an acro. You should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Mr. Dingley, how do you respond to these charges? Well, Acro's at a loss for words. Certainly, he knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well. Hell, I'd blush what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, Von Cronin. She's just using this testimony as a route to stall for time.
Objection!
There's absolutely no need for such testimony.
Objection!
The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond. The defense's objection is overruled. Why can't you see things my way once in a while? Mr. Dingley, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. That woman will sink to any low to win a case. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an actor, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible to have the location of my master's head. Thus, it would be realistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony. It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? Okay. Let's see. I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus.
Hold it!
And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs. So you couldn't have thrown that bust out of the window.
Hold it!
If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. All I had to do was drop it. You're right, I could have done it. However, there is no way that I can land a direct hit on the Ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes the theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright? Acro is strong enough to lift up the bust. The main problem is how he could have aimed for the Ringmaster's head. Wonder if he could have used some kind of tool to aim at the Ringmaster. That's the ticket, Nick. Show them what you can. I have to be careful not to find something that fits perfectly with the case. I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. But maybe we overlooked something.
Hold it!
How long do you think your recovery would take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intense rehabilitation, but it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. Bear in mind another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out the window.
Hold it!
Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bus, I couldn't see out the window. Thus, there is no way that I would know the location of the Ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you've got a point. Hey, what if you turn things around? Maybe you can think of it sort of like this. If you knew the location of the Ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bus. That does make sense. If only I could prove it somehow. That accurate location of the Ringmaster's head without looking back. I think I've already explained this discussion.
Hold it!
So what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to TPs or fight with you. You don't say. But, no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, so put. I mean, Nick. How did this discussion turn to me all of a sudden? I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. What? He doesn't know the
Objection!
What's this? Acro. You didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely.
Objection!
Silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stall. How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe we should take a look at this. Key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found on my shoulder. Same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bus came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. If the bus were to fall on the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No! Order! This is unbelievable! Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going. There's only one way to go from here. Forward. So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box in the scene? It was Mr. Dingley. He connected it to the rope, and then all he had to do was hold it. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ow! The master's head could have been anywhere when you looked at the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. Size. Okay, the pepper's ready to be box. It's probably the contents of the box. Do you recall what was inside the wooden box? It was only a small bottle of pepper, wasn't it? Get on with it. Well... What's the matter? Can't you tell me? I don't see any relationship between the location of his head and the box's contents. I think I might have out-thought myself. No, Nick, you didn't think enough. Mr. Wright, you still maintain the box has some sort of special feature. Indeed, it had the most peculiar feature. That was not it. So the pepper's brewed in. I want to try to play the box. The box has a remarkable weight. According to the report, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required. Oh, I see. One would have to squat down, then lift it up with their body. Wouldn't you say? That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles and either side, doesn't it? That is correct. To lift up the blocks, you have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. Fool! Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? I remember. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria. Then what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. That means you understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bus from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bus from the cafeteria to my room? See, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bus from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove nothing's happened once and for all. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria back to his room? Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring. So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it and then brought it back home. How would he... what? Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room?
Objection!
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Objection!
Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. Those are some very nice cards as well. Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Acro. Money is a strong monkey. It would be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a room. Order. I said order. Miss Von Carter, where is the bus in question at this point? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bus. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bus was stolen purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Monkey's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one criminal element. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron! So a monkey can lift that whole thing? Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. How? You'll see himself bamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene. There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Hey, don't let her beat you now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people on the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Mr. Barry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this, and only this, Mr. Who was the murderer the clown saw? is the murderer of the clown. So the bus will look like him.
Take that!
He saw Max. Ow! I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question.
Objection!
Au contraire, mon frère. It does seem to indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man he saw. It wasn't a human being he saw. How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's body.
Objection!
What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak.
Objection!
There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bus. It would be easy to hang one off the cars in the bus's hands. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bus? It doesn't matter who put it on the bus. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bus? That question is of the utmost importance to this case. Don't you agree? Don't talk. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bus?
Take that!
Fool! Him? You are saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry? That's what I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bus. Placed the cloak isn't really the right way to put it. And what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all this? I'm fine, Ryan. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint from this. Alright, so you want to know what really happened. Let's step back. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the seat. Then he attached that rope to the bus, and dangled the bus out of his bedroom window, directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room, and went to the seat. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that way. But just as he feared, he responded with the entrance of the haunted house. By none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben Bishop. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bus hit the victim. Wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. What? The impact of the bus on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bus. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Horace Bone Curls, the crowd. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bus. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling off the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bus being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because, in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window, so he just kept pulling the bus down. And that is how the magical murderer disappeared into the sky came to pass. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you. Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He's sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my wit. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? They say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to report that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the truth to this magic case. The problem is math is three symbols. You know, silk hat, cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Will's testimony. The silk hat was one. The white roses were the other. The theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. Oh, you fool! Do you ever shut up? Next, the silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the sea was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bus. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, you did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Objection!
Fine, you've got one. But what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember what that ventriloquist said before? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one. Can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the incident when the cloak snagged onto the bus. If the cloak snagged onto the bus, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bus, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bus. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bus. Order. Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick, and maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Loaded. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude toward the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. Oh, what do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive. It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. this is interesting, huh? Bye.